What's up everyone, this is Guyman from Mid-City Digital, and in this video I want to talk about a brand new site building tool that we've just rolled out recently at midcitydigital.com. It's available for all of our different hosting packages across the board for no extra charge, and it's really perfect for anyone who maybe you don't want to mess with learning how to install a content management system like WordPress or Drupal or any of those, or maybe you can't afford to pay a freelancer to build it for you. So you just want to have a simple drag and drop system, kind of like Wix or Squarespace or Weebly or any of these others that are out there. Well, we've heard you and we've got it now. It's called the SiteJet Builder. And like all builders, it's got some pros and cons, but this one is pretty powerful. I'm pretty impressed with it, especially for beginners. It's real easy to just jump right into and just learn by doing. So let's go ahead and check it out. I'm going to try to just give a general overview here and take you through some of the basic steps to get started and publish your site straight away. To get started, first of all, you'll need a hosting account. And by the way, SiteJet Builder is available on a lot of other hosting platforms, not just Mid-City Digital. It's something that's available for any host that uses cPanel or Plesk. So keep that in mind. This also makes it a little more portable than if you were using Wix or Squarespace, for instance. Those sites, you can't really export everything you did and take it to another platform if you ever needed to. You'd have to rebuild completely from scratch. With SiteJet, you can find another web host that uses SiteJet or has cPanel or Plesk as their backend, and they can probably install SiteJet for you, no problem, if it's not there already. So, but what you need to do is go ahead and sign up for a hosting account, register your domain, set up your hosting, and then here at Mid-City Digital, you would just click on Client Area, and this will take you over into this client area where you have your hosting services, all your domains, tickets, etc. We've covered that in other videos, so check that out. So I have a habit of clicking through to the cPanel right here under services, but we got a little shortcut right here. You can click right here and this will take you right into your cPanel control panel. And from here you can see we've got this nice big banner up top advertising SiteJet Builder. So you can just click there to get started if you want to. Or you can see there's a little X right here. You could close this out and get this out of your way at a certain point if you want to. And then after that, you could just click on SiteJet Builder over here on the left. And also further down underneath domains, where to go? Domains, there's SiteJet Builder right there. So you can click into it there, whichever you prefer. Let's go ahead and just click here to get started. And so once you click into this, when you're first getting started, you won't see this change template link right here, and this button will say try SiteJet. I've been playing with this quite a bit preparing for this video, so I've already got something installed here. So let's do this. Let's pretend this says try SiteJet. When you click that, it will take you to the templates. So what I'm going to do is, I've already got something installed right now. Let's go ahead and click Change Template. And give it a minute to load up, because it's loading everything remotely from the SiteJet cloud. And you can see there's a ton of templates to get started with. Now, I've shown this to a few of my clients already, and one of their first reactions is they kind of got overwhelmed looking at all the different templates here. There's tons to choose from. And they might think off the top of their head, well, none of this quite looks like what I want, but don't worry, you can change literally everything within these templates to suit your needs. And there's probably already one that has a basic layout, a basic aesthetic that would work with your brand and for the type of business that you use. So you can see here under these categories, This will help you narrow it down for different industries, different types of websites that you might want to do. Uh, you can see right here, there's all templates, there's trending, and there's new. So that's one thing that I find very interesting about this. As I was preparing for this video, I've already seen SiteJet update this a little bit. I've seen a couple of new templates suddenly pop in here. So keep an eye out for new templates if you're trying to design variations of your website, or whenever you're ready to redesign it later on. You can also choose right here underneath layout. There's multi-pagers, which obviously be your main home page, and then all of your different pages, your about page, your contact page, your portfolio, whatever you're building, would all be separate individual pages. Whereas the one pager, everything in your menu would just automatically scroll down to the section, to the about section, the contact section, your portfolio section, all within one page. Or you could do a landing page, which is pretty convenient if you're just setting up a coming soon page, or you're trying to build a lead magnet or something of that nature. But yeah, have a look through these, and there's all kinds to choose from, as I mentioned. But to get started here, let's click on landing page, and I want to start with basically a coming soon page. This Beatbox one is kind of a good instance, and whenever you're seeing all these different templates, you could choose it right away or click view to preview it, obviously. And you can see this is more or less how this one would look. And you can see it's just got like a little email sign up right here. You can also preview it. This is the desktop preview. Here's the tablet preview. Here's the mobile phone preview. But that's just one right there. This one's got a little video embedded into it, so that's kind of neat. Let's close this out. There's a different one I want to work with for a minute here. But you can see there's a few to choose from that would be great for a basic landing page or a coming soon page, which is pretty ideal when you're just getting started. You want to go ahead and get something put up real quick. Maybe start with one of these, and you could easily get in here and edit it, change the backgrounds, change the fonts, change the colors, literally everything. So here's all these coming soon pages down here at the bottom. They're specifically coming soon. And like if you view this one, you can see we've got this little countdown element that we can drag and drop into the page wherever we want. And there's different variations of this that you can do. This one looks kind of weird to me. I think the font's kind of whack and the colors are kind of weird, but hey, it's kind of cool. But anyway, you could change all this out however you wanted to. Here's another one, just to give you an idea. You could do something like this. See, this countdown is in terms of just days, so it's a little bit more elegant, a little bit more slick. And you got your social icons up here. So that's pretty good for a coming soon page. And you've got this this rotating background, this kind of a slider background that you can click through and look at all these preview images. And then this has a couple of sub pages for legal notice and privacy, so it's got those built in. And again, you could see how this translates to tablet and phone. So you get to preview all this before you even install the template. Now, the one I want to work with, I'm going to mess with this one because this one is probably the simplest coming soon page that I've found out of all of them. So, this one's for an event that's coming up, whatever that might be. And it's, counting down the days to the event. And you can buy your tickets right here. And this brings you this little pop-up thing right here you can fill out and submit. I would think maybe integrate like a payment system into this if you're really doing something like this, but you get the idea. Let's go ahead and, let's double check. Yeah, this is what it looks like on tablet. That's what it looks like on phone. Okay. And so you can see these are responsive templates that will work on any platform. So let's go ahead and choose this one. And you give it a minute to load up, and it will bring you into the editor momentarily. And here we are in the SiteJet editor, and you can see from the URL this is working on the SiteJet cloud. So just keep that in mind. Okay, so there's a lot here to go over. Here on the left side, you'll see all of your different elements that we'll be getting into momentarily. First, we'll start here with this little hamburger menu, and we'll work across to the right on this top menu right here. And then as we'll start editing some things, and you'll start seeing how these different elements kind of work. So little hamburger menu right there. It's got some pretty key things right here that you're going to want to work with. You got backups right here. This will save a version of the site that you're working on like every 30 or 40 minutes. I can't remember exactly. Or you can create a very specifically named version of it if you want and save that. And whoop, it just showed like all the different versions right there. Since it's, all this is in the cloud, you got to kind of give it a second to sort of load up different data. But I think you get the idea there. Preferences, you got some general preferences here for, the default language of the interface, light or dark color scheme, uh, language copy mode here, change history. You can, just like on a Mac or PC, you can do Command Z or Control Z to undo. Uh, and this will, allow you to do like however many you want, really, but it only really goes so far before the performance starts to degrade. So keep that in mind. But anyway, there's some options there you can change up, some editor view options, some coding view options, because yes, even more advanced developers, yes, you can insert your own code into this builder. So you could have a look at this, tweak a couple of things here if you need to. Clean up unused CSS code would be pretty handy, I would say. Sharing copy website. This is going to come in handy here in a little bit. I'll show you specifically how to use this here in a little while. You got this help menu right here, this help link. This will bring you over to this white labeled knowledge base that goes over all of the specific elements, the section templates, the different features, images and video, collections pages, SEO and marketing. It goes way into detail on a lot of different aspects of this. So that's really handy if you really want to dig into it. So back over here, now here's your shortcuts. Just like most desktop applications, there's a lot of different little keystrokes you can do. I personally need to get a handle on some more of these. I could be working a little bit faster with SiteJet if I would kind of memorize some of these, but a lot of them kind of translate from other programs like, Command Shift S for save page and, Command Z. And of course, if you're on PC, that'd be Control as opposed to the Command key. But I think you get the idea there. So that's pretty handy. Now, going across here, okay, so you've got this preview button right here, this preview icon, and this will allow you to preview it within the same screen right here. So this is how it would actually be functioning. You could also open preview website, which would open a new tab, and you would see it completely separate. And you could kind of preview the URL. So as you get into other, like some of your sub pages, this would allow you to double check that your URL slug reads correctly. So that can come up from time to time. Let's close that out. Now you could also go into presentation mode, which is pretty cool if you're sharing this with, say, your business partners, or maybe you're building something for a client even. You could show them this is how this would function across the desktop, tablet, and the mobile phone. And yeah, that's how that would look right there. You could also share the presentation link, which would give you a link that you could then copy and paste into an email or a chat, your Slack or whatever the case might be, a DM, etc. Now, going across the board here, if you need to reload the page, you can reload the page right there. Let's see. Now you got this little save icon. It's not highlighted currently. However, once we start making changes, say I click into this block of text, this headline text. You see this is an element. It's popped up over here on the side. Let's say I just add a period right there and hit the checkbox. Now you're going to want to hit save. Anytime you make any significant changes, you definitely want to hit the little save icon right there. And so that'll save that. Now you'll notice it highlights this right here too. So you can undo it right here, or you can use Command Z, Control Z. Or you want to go back, you can go forward, so you could redo it. So you can see right there it says Control Y or Command Y. So whichever, you could use these. Then moving over here, now you can see here's our little responsive menu here. We can preview this for all kinds of different desktop resolutions. We can do the same for tablets, and they're probably going to need to update this relatively soon. Noticing there's like some phones that aren't on here, but you get a pretty good idea with these different screen resolutions. These are pretty common at this point, so you can check them all out and make sure your site looks correct. And you got a little zoom here. You can zoom it way down, all the way back up if you need to. On resize, automatically adjust zoom level to fit chosen device. So we got that little option right there. Now, moving on across the right. Okay, here's a pretty important panel right here under design. This is going to be your main global design settings. So these are going to be your global font settings right here. You can go through these as you need, change these up however you want. Headlines, down here. So you could adjust the size and the weight and the height and everything of all this for all your different, your H1, your H2, your H3, etc. Go back up here. Your global colors are defined right here. Here's your main colors right here for your background, your primary color, which is looks like the text here, or yeah, your headline text, and secondary color, font color. You can also define additional colors if you want. That would be pretty handy on more well-developed websites. Go ahead and define some additional colors for your branding. You can define your buttons here, all the different colors for hover and active, and the general text color, and the size, borders, spacing. Put a shadow on your button, which is pretty cool. You can transform it, move it, scale it, rotate it, skew it, however you need to. You can change the transition, ease in and ease out, however you need to do that. You got a couple little layout settings here, which this tends to kind of affect just the general width of the page. So, and you can do vertical padding. That's going to define the vertical padding across pretty much every container. Yeah, I mean, a lot of this for the general layout, I mean, it's pretty basic. You could probably leave this alone in most situations and kind of define a lot of this from within the different elements and different containers that we'll kind of play with here in a minute. So there's that. Then there's your store settings if you incorporate e-commerce, which is kind of a different conversation with this particular builder. We'll get to that in a little while. But here you could define, what your products would look like as far as layout and color schemes, fonts, and, product headline, product title, product price, so you get to define the fonts and sizes and colors of every little element of your shopping cart items right there. So that's the design menu. So that's, your global settings. And keep in mind, every little item in here, you can override it within the individual elements. Like this headline right here, I could just change the color of just that headline to make it whatever I wanted, and it would just override the general settings in here. But by default, when you throw in a headline, it would fit to these settings right here under the design menu. So moving on, under pages, this is where obviously all of your different pages would be defined. And you could add another one by clicking the little plus button right here, and it adds a new page. And you can see it highlights this little cog right here. So any one of these pages you could open up and adjust the settings that are in there. You click it again to close it. Here, for a new page, we'd want to give it a name, give it a URL slug, so something that makes sense, that reads correctly, that's SEO friendly, preferably. You've also got SEO title, and you've got SEO description that you could put in here. You can put in SEO keywords. You could define whether or not this page would be accessible in the main menu, which we'll talk a little bit about menus here in a second. Then you got more settings. So you could add meta tags. You could even add a preview image for that particular page. So like a featured image kind of thing, sort of like you would see in WordPress. From here, say I don't really want that. I could hit the little delete button, the remove right there. You could also duplicate a page if you need to. That could be pretty handy if you kind of got a nice general layout that you want to work with and have multiple pages like that. You could use the duplicate feature right there. But yeah, you click on any one of these and it'll take you straight to that page. It will open it in a new tab and you can begin editing as needed. So you can see now I've got 3 different tabs opened here. This is all 3 pages for this one pager. Again, with just this one main page, but a couple of sub pages for legal notices and whatnot. So we can close those out right here. And let's go ahead and move on from here. So now we got the Navigator. Now the Navigator is very handy, especially as you build out a more complex website, because each one of these elements, I mean, you could get lost easily just looking at this. If you've never used it before, you're like, I'm rolling over this and it's highlighted here. It's this orange thing with a puzzle piece. What is that? Oh, now there's this container. Oh, now there's this image thing. What's all this? Well, you can see it right here in the Navigator. So if you click this little arrow here, it'll open this up and you can see what's in this. This is a preset, it's a section template. That's what it's called. as far as SiteJet is concerned, this is a section template. And you open that up and you can see within that there's a couple of containers. Then this container, there's an image. Then there's another container that has this headline and a little spacer and a button and another spacer, and then some text with those couple of links in it. Then you got another container over here. So this this preset right here, this section template, is a little 2-column thing. So that's how that's defined. So say I wanted to edit that, I would double click that, and I would see now it's over here on the side. This is the definition of all of that. I could click the style here, could change the background color, could change some settings on the content, the vertical padding, the horizontal padding, etc. Could put an image back there, I guess. Could change the background here. We'll get into that a little bit further in another example I'm going to show here in just a second. But you get the idea. When you click on any one of these presets or any one of these things in the Navigator, it'll take you right to it. So here it's clicked right here to this Facebook icon. So now I can choose, say I want that I want this icon. So we got that one. So now I've changed that. Since I made that change, I'm going to hit the save button. Cool. Here's this video. I might want to change that. Let me go back to the Navigator. So that's in this container right here. And so that this preset has the icons. This right here, here's the countdown down here. So now I can see where that is. So it's this container, and it has a background. This is obviously a video background. So here you can see we also have all of these options. You could upload your own video here, which could be tricky for, depending on the size of the video. It'd probably be okay if it's just like 1 or 2 videos that you upload, but generally you'd want to use an embedded option from a third party like YouTube or Rumble or whatever. But you also got under stock photos and stock videos, you could choose something else. So there's all these great stock videos for different purposes that you could use. Let's say it's fall right now, so let's say Halloween. See if there's something for that. Yes, yes, there's a lot for Halloween. Oh my. Um, Gee whiz. Um, I was thinking I saw something earlier. Some of these are kind of frightening. Let's say, sure, let's use this one. Why not? So I think we could hit that and just add that in here. Boom. That just updated that image. How crazy is that? Okay, so we could tweak that a little more. We could do a few different things to it. But that's just like an example of something you could do on this. Let's check out this countdown right here. Let's say I want to change this countdown. Okay, so here's the countdown right here. Say I want to change this countdown. And we could go right here, say I want to change, here's the countdown itself. Here's some more about the element. This is if I wanted to change the, the text and the spacing and whatnot, but the countdown itself is right here. So say it's 2024 and then 10/31. And then that should update it, I believe. Let's go ahead and hit save. Okay, had a little snafu there with the countdown. So some of these little features are a little weird, a little funky, and you might need to just play with them a little bit and make sure you hit save and do a preview in a new window. Here we go. So you can see I should probably change the font color here, but now it says 15 days till Halloween. Wow, that's crazy. It's already that soon. So anyway, you kind of get the idea of that right there. The AI writer, this is very interesting. You could use this if you were stuck, if you needed to come up with some kind of text and you're blanking out, you're not really sure what to write. So let's say I want to add some text here. Let's go to elements. I just want to do some basic text. I want to drop that in. So you see when you drag something in here, it'll kind of highlight where you're dragging it. Kind of be patient with it. You can see, trying to drop it right in there. Bloop. Okay, that'll be good enough. So new text element right there. Okay, so now let's say I want to use this AI writer to come up with something. and say, all right, I want it to be right there. Well, I could select the element, click right there, and then come over here. You can see it's trying to help me decide which element to highlight. Let's click that. So now it automatically updates the element ID right there. And then what should be written? We're having a Halloween bash. And then we can tab from there. And how many words do you want it to be? Say I want it to be 45 words. Sure. Content type, click here. And, it could be marketing copy, product copy, etc., etc. I guess this would be marketing copy. Tone, we'd want this one to be friendly. Reading level, I'd say for this, leave it at none, but you could do academic, adult, teen, child, whatever. Target group, you could get more specific here, for your customers or whatever. You could, insert, if the author is the business owner or whatever. And then let's click on generate text to generate it right here. So this is pretty cool. So you can see it's automatically putting it right here in the space for us. We could, fix spelling and grammar. We could improve it. We could make it longer, make it shorter. Could copy it and put it somewhere else. Say we didn't want it there, we could delete that and say it was for a different page. You could drop it in there. But yeah, that's how that basically works for the AI writer. Very cool feature. I have mixed feelings about AI, but that's pretty awesome. The commerce, I'm going to circle back around to that here in just a minute. Whenever you're done and you're ready to publish your site, you would obviously hit the publish button. But first, last thing going across here to the right, under the more menu, you've got website settings, SEO analysis, language, collections manager, which is kind of a whole other ball of wax. Files and stock photos. This is where you could upload your own stuff or select certain stock photos. Fonts, content import. You could import all of the images and video and stuff from one of your other websites. If you have a whole other website somewhere and you're trying to just copy some of the content over, you could do that. That might be handy if you're doing a .com and a .net and a .org. You could kind of share some of the content that way pretty conveniently. We've got a little to-do list. You can make a to-do list for yourself. And then data, we'll kind of circle back to that. But so any one of these panels, you just exit out. Let's go to website settings. So here's your general settings. I would say this might be the first thing you want to do. Go ahead and update your website name to whatever your brand is, your company name, etc. You could upload your logo here. And you can see this is like an extended version of what you would see here under files and stock photos. This is the minimized version. You click it here, it maximizes it. And you can see here where we just added that one video for the little Halloween preview. And you can see all files here, stock photos and videos there. You could click to upload right from your own computer, etc. Let's go back here, website settings. So yeah, go ahead and like add your logo so that, that way everything stays consistent and looks correct. Add your fave icon. You can add a preview image, which is pretty key for doing, proper SEO. Here's the basic data about your company. Go ahead and fill this out as needed because some of this will be auto-populated into things like your footer and other places like maybe your contact page and whatnot. So update this as needed, SEO and meta. Go ahead and put in any SEO information you want right here. Fill this out as best you can to dial things in. Down here, you've got Google Analytics ID, so you could tie in your SiteJet website into Google Analytics. That's very important, very helpful right there. Google Maps API key, that could be handy, depending on what you're doing. Languages, again, you could make your site multilingual, but choose your main language, however you want to do that. Now, some of this obviously is kind of redundant with some of these other little menu options here, as you can see. Like there's your data again all over, for instance. Fonts, you can upload your own fonts. That's pretty interesting. Generally, you're probably going to be working with Google fonts throughout all of this. So anyway, there is our main stuff across the whole top of the site, and a couple of little demonstrations there I kind of fumbled through. By the way, anybody who wants to deal with code, you can come down here to the bottom, click on code, and boom, you get to see all of your CSS and JavaScript and all that good stuff there. One thing worth pointing out, you can see how this is all your CSS is arranged. If you want to edit a particular element, you just like scroll over the little arrow that's right there, and it'll open up the actual element so you can get in there and like really do some detailed editing of your style sheet if you want to do that. Otherwise, all of this is handled in the background over here in the editor, and through editing your different elements over there. So anyway, there's the code portion for all you code gurus out there who want to like really dig into the stuff there. So I'm going to go ahead and say publish this site, and you'll give it a minute. Whoop, I need to save my changes. Okay, no, I've saved everything. Okay, let me try that again. Sure. And so this will remove any website files from your website directory. So make sure if you don't, if you already have something over there, it's going to wipe it out. So make sure you back all that up before you hit publish. So we strongly recommend creating a restore point. So let's create a restore point where it could bring it back to what it was before publishing if we want. That's pretty convenient. So you give it a minute and it goes through this. And you can see more details here. You can watch it go. Whoa, there it goes, building my website. Boom, success. Awesome. Published successfully. So there it is. So now we could actually go over here and click the actual domain name. There it is, midcitydemo.com. Here's our coming soon page. Join us for a spooktacular Halloween bash. That's some pretty good AI writing, but, again, the AI stuff, as far as writing, mixed feelings on that. Make sure you touch that up if you use that tool. Make sure you add your own flair so it's not just all 100% AI. But anyway, that gives the idea of how to publish a coming soon page fairly quickly. Now, I want to go back over here and show you a more realistic situation. Say you built your coming soon page. Let's go back under SiteJet Builder. And you see here, so, the site's published. We could edit the site from here and start building on it like straight from it. We could go back in and change the template. You can see the details here. This gives you that preview we were just looking at. However, say we just have that coming soon page, but we want to build a real website. The coming soon page is just there for example, whatever. So what we do, here's how we create a staging site. We can create a staging website to build out a whole new prototype, a whole new demo, and build on it as we need. So check this out. We're going to create a new domain. This is exactly the same as if you go under Tools in your cPanel. And if you go down to Domains, If you create a new domain here, it's the same as if you use this create a new domain right here under the SiteJet option. So let's create a new domain. Created a whole bunch of these while preparing for this, so let me do a whole fresh one here. I'm going to say demo 5, and you got to put the full domain, the full URL. And then you just leave it like that. Don't click the share document route. That'll make it all kind of screwy. So just leave it like that and hit submit. And it takes a minute for that to go through. And that's pretty much that there. Let's go back over here to SiteJet Builder. You might need to give it a couple of minutes to sort of process all that. I've seen it throw errors once in a while, but not usually. So now you can see here's this new domain, and here's the Try SiteJet button, as I mentioned at the beginning of the video. So we'll try SiteJet here. So we're going to build a whole real website here, and I'll show you how to copy that and paste it into the existing site. Let's say we work in the trades. You know, we're a painter, or we're a handyman, or we're a woodworker, or a roofer. You know, I know a lot of people in these types of industries who could use a website and for some reason they only work on social media, which is weird to me because not everybody is on every social media platform, so they might want to look into something like this. So I've been playing around with this WePaint one-pager over here. It's pretty cool, actually. There's some pretty neat layout for the most part. You know, it's got a sticky menu, which is kind of cool, and it pretty much covers all the bases. You know, you got a few examples of their work, and you got a contact form. And you got your footer here with all the basic information. So it's pretty neat. There's a couple of things I might tweak on it, but otherwise it's a good place to start. So let's say let's go ahead and choose this one. It's kind of tempted to work with maybe the roofer template. Handyman template's kind of cool too, but anyway, we'll work with this one for a minute. Now here we are in the CMS right here. So we can see here's our basic layout for the desktop view, and we got a few things kind of ghosted back here. That's some stuff that's more for it changes a little bit. Some of this gets hidden when you go into tablet mode and phone mode, so some of it's kind of like, so don't freak out when you see stuff like that. This is a great example of, as you start working with a template like this, to use the Navigator over here to help you figure out which specific element you're working with. So again, real quick, as far as your elements, since I didn't really go over all this stuff, so here we go. Elements. So you could go right here and you see automatically there's a search bar there. So say I just want to add an image. I could type that in and it'll bring me to the image options. Or say I want to add a video, it'll bring me to the video option. And we can play around with some stuff like that here in a second, but let me show you something real quick. So under this main elements thing right here, well, you can see this favorites right here. That's just these couple of things that are highlighted here. So there's not really a whole lot there, but you could favorite any one of these, like maybe favorite the image. It's probably pretty common. Probably favorite an icon. So you could always set that and constantly have those right up top very conveniently. Otherwise, under elements, you could pick from any of these to drag and drop over, or if you scroll down, you can see every single crazy element you could possibly ever imagine to use. And as you see, as you scroll down, it highlights which one of these elements it is over here on the side. So you could quickly jump down to, say, header. Like if you're building from scratch, you could select, there's a blank template that you could choose, and you could start from scratch and jump straight down to header and grab one of these headers right here, and it has your menus built into it already. That's one of those section elements that the preset section elements I was talking about earlier. And again, you can always see that with the little puzzle piece icon. So anyway, uh, you got forms here that you could build. You could drag one of those in and start building and editing from that. Let me back up over here. Okay, I want to show you just a couple of quick things. Um, Again, I think the best way to really truly learn this without us being here for 12 hours going through every little everything is literally just jump in and start editing some things, and you'll start to see how some of this works. There's still elements of it that, as I'm sure you've seen, a few minutes ago, I'm still kind of figuring out a couple of little settings here and there. So it's a tiny learning curve, but it's not too bad. So let's say I want to tweak some stuff with this menu bar here for the desktop view. I'm going to get this out of my way for a minute. Let's say, first of all, I kind of would like to change the height of this, but I'm seeing this logo is pretty big. This menu bar is pretty fat, you know, like, you can see that that's pretty tall. I'd like to thin that out a little bit. So let's say I'm going to click on the logo here. I want to change the size of this. So it's got this default width setting, and it just proportionately changes it if you change this right here. Um, you got some other things on style here that you could change. We could edit it there. Let me do 125. What does that do? See, that brings it down to a little bit better size that I would like to see there. So that kind of tells me, all right, well, let me go back over here to the main menu bar. I could adjust the padding. So you see, you click on that and it reveals all this stuff down here. Here's your padding settings. Say I just want to make that 20 and 20. Oh, that didn't change for some reason. So that thins that out a little bit better. So I like that. I'm going to hit the save button right there. So if I preview it, I can see a little bit more realistically without all the wireframes going around it. Like, oh, that's pretty cool. That looks a little bit better. I kind of like that. Back over here to this, you can change how the sticky setting for your main menu is set. So right now the sticky menu pops up after you scroll past it. You could have it do it instantly, or you could have it do it only when scrolling up, or after a certain portion. So let's preview that one. So it's after you go past that first main banner, it pops up right there. Let's go back down. When scrolling up is kind of neat. Let's hit save. Ooh, okay. Preview. So scrolling back up is kind of a neat feature. Scroll back up. Whoa, there it is. That's kind of neat. I do like that. So another thing I'd like to change here, again, about the menu bar on the style. I want to change this background. Let me see here. I'm going to go to this part of the background here. I'm going to change this to a gradient. I'm going to do something a little weird here. I'm going to set the white to go to 50% right there. And then I'm going to set this black. First, I'm going to set it to white, but then I'm going to drop the transparency all the way down. I'm going to hit apply. And now the angle's going all wrong. I mean, so we could have it going side to side, but I want it to go top to bottom. So right here on angle, I'm going to change this to 180. Boom. So that's a little bit better there. I'm going to hit save. And I'm going to hit preview again. So this, and oh, also I want to change the, sticky menu again. Where to go? Style, menu bar, sticky. I want to change this to, I'm going to change it to instant. Okay. That's a little bit nicer. Now, I should probably still tweak that a little bit further, but this makes this menu item a little bit easier to read over this background image we got going on here. So, stuff like that. You could do little things like that. That's kind of a neat effect, you know? So that just gives you an idea of how to work with some of these elements. And like I say, literally every single element in here, you can click into it, you can adjust it, change it. You can change the container itself. You could change, different widths and heights and the padding and everything on every little everything. Now, real quick, let's say I wanted to add a video. I just want to mention this. A couple of people have asked about that I showed this to you before. It's like, well, what about adding video into SiteJet? I would recommend uh, linking any videos to like YouTube. Use the embed codes or whatever from there. So, for instance, YouTube. So, see here, you could put a YouTube video right there. And here is where you would you would just copy and paste your link from YouTube right into here. And, we don't have anything selected right now, so we won't mess with that. I just want to point this out. Um, Similarly, you could use Vimeo, I believe. Yeah, there's a Vimeo one. Uh, Otherwise, you would need to, let's go ahead and you can see here, you got all these little options here on the side. So I could scroll down here to delete it, or I could come over here to delete it like that. Undo that, undo, there we go. So you've got different options for embedding that. You could also do an iframe for other types of hosting accounts, like maybe Rumble or BitChute or others that don't have an automatically built-in element here. You could use the iframe option and drop that in, and then you would get your URL from BitChute or Rumble or wherever, and again copy and paste it right there, and you set the size of it and everything accordingly right here. Center it, right align it, however you need to do it right there. Probably wouldn't do much with the style right there, but you get the idea. So I'm gonna undo that. So anyway, that was a special request. I needed to mention how to deal with video. So that's in there. Okay. There was a couple other little things I wanted to point out. This right here is this is an accordion setup. You can see right here. So you can play with that, There's just so much that you could go over here. Anyway, but yeah, you can see this is like an image gallery within here. So this is great for portfolios of any kind. And you could situate it however you want, whether it's in an accordion setup like that or just flat out straight up, however you want to do it. That's your call. One final thing, this one's kind of weird. Well, there's two more final things. Number one is collections. Say I wanted to add a blog to this website. This gets a little weird, and I promise you would want to experiment with this, and you're probably going to want to refer to this help item right here to really clarify it for you. It's kind of tough to explain here, but if you want to add a blog, for instance, you could use this collections templates right here for blog, product gallery, job listings, portfolio. This real estate listings, I was playing with this on a different template previously, and the real estate listing one's pretty cool looking actually. But collections is kind of a way of organizing different listings with different categories, and it's the structure for the blog. It's the structure for the listing. And so to do that, to make this make sense, let me do this. I'm going to go under Pages, and just to do this quick kind of sloppy example, I'm going to add a new page, and for our purposes here, I'm going to call this latest blogs, or I guess I could just call it, there's a reason I'm kind of quibbling over this right here. You'll see in a minute. Let's call it blogs, plural, with an S. But that way it makes this URL slug with an S. But then up top, I could force it to just say blog, but make that say blogs, plural. I'm doing that for a reason. You'll see here in a minute. So I want this to be available in the menu. This is a one-pager currently, so it's not automatically going to pop up in the menu. There's a couple of little things I got to tweak. But so there's that, and I'm just going to leave that way. Now I'm going to want to come over here. I can roll over this and find the menu. Or again, I could go to the Navigator, open menu bar, and go to the menu itself. So under the menu itself, you can see, About Us is linked right here. So when you click on that, it automatically scrolls down to the correct element. So I want to add a new menu link. I'm going to click right here. And so it's automatically going to elements because this is a one-pager again. But if it was a multi-pager, we would select page. So now I'm going to say blog. So now it should link to that. And the link text will be blog. So now it appears in the menu right there. And we could keep it in the same tab, make it open in a new tab, set the title, etc. We could just leave that as it is right there. I'm going to go ahead and hit the save button. And what I want to do now is go back over to Pages. Now I'm going to click on the blog itself, this blog page. So you see it's a blank page right now. This is how you would add any new page, any separate page. Whether it's a one-pager or a multi-pager, it'd be a very similar process. But now back over here to collections. So we want to add a blog. For now, we're just going to add this generic blog right here. I'm going to drag and drop it over. And you see now this says blog. So this is defining what a single blog post looks like with that particular URL slug. So that's going to create this whole separate, like a sub page right here. And you give it just a minute to kind of populate. So it puts in all this like generic information right here, which you would obviously be changing, but it kind of fills it out for you to get started with. So yeah, a lot of information over here. We can kind of circle back to that. That's not even really the main thing that I want to show you. again, under pages. This is where, clicking on the little gear icon under pages is really handy. So you could leave this right here the same, but I would suggest changing this prefix URL, because each one of these different posts, let me just show you real quick. Let's go ahead and just save it like that as it is, preview it. And so, let's go back over here. Here we are on our main home page. Now say we click on blog. Well, let's try that again. Let's try opening it like this. Okay, I'm getting some errors here. Yeah, sometimes this acts a little strange when you're just getting it started, but the point being is that you're going to want to change this, okay? You're going to want to change, you don't want your URL to say blog-single-page-layout / your blog title. I want it to just say blog. Let's hit save, and maybe we can get this to work. So let me close that right there so we get a little better idea. So again, over here now, blog, your blog is a little weird here. So if you go to Collections Manager under this More menu, click on that. Now you see blog is over here. And you click on that. Come on. Should load up all of your blog entries. There's all the generic blog entries. So you could add a new blog if you want. You click add item, and you can see here this name. This would be the title of your blog. And you see here, this is example.com/blog, like we just changed. And then my new blog. So you see that would actually update there. So my new blog entry. So that automatically updates that. You got this description, which is, kind of like, excerpt text, your preview text. So you can put in something there. And then you got this edit in CMS. This is a little strange the way this functions, but you would click that and it's basically gonna open up in the CMS that we've been working in, the editor that we've been working in. You can choose a category. You could, set the author name. You'd set a preview image here, set the publish date, etc. Got SEO information down here. You could even use the AI writer to help you write the SEO information. So there's all that. Here's another preview image, which could be helpful. So let's hit save there. There we go, editing. Here's what it would. Thing that's weird about editing it like this. I mean, now you could make your blog post look like whatever you want. It's just for some reason it strips away the header menu and everything else around it, which I find kind of odd. I usually work with WordPress and builders like Elementor, and so that way I can see it all in context. But I mean, this is just as well. But give it a shot, play with it, and you'll get used to it and figure it out. But that's basically how you would handle setting up a blog, and it would be underneath your collections, which I know it can be a little perplexing, a little confusing, but collections manager is where all that lives. And just keep in mind, with your pages, you just want to make sure that your URLs make sense the way they read. Yeah, I would normally just make this blog right here just be blog without the S, but then it would conflict with this one. So there's strange little oddities like that you might run into with this, but give it a shot. And again, refer to the help menu and it'll bring you to this knowledge base here that can help explain a lot of this kind of stuff. Now, one final point. So we got commerce way down here on the bottom, and we got commerce over here. So if you want to put together an e-commerce website using SiteJet, this is something they've changed fairly recently. Used to, maybe about a month or so ago even, um, it would only work with a third-party e-commerce site called Ecwid. And Ecwid's pretty cool. It's kind of comparable to Shopify as far as pricing and whatnot. But SiteJet by default for the longest time would only work with Ecwid. Now, however, apparently SiteJet is rolling out their own e-commerce product. So this would still be a third-party e-commerce solution. If you click on the commerce option, either up here or way down here, it's going to pop this up and it says set up e-commerce. You need to create a shop before you can use the commerce elements for this website. Once the shop is created, you can find all commerce elements here. Blah, 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 blah. And what you're going to need to do is punch in your email address. So just for instance, I'll kind of show you a preview of this and say we hit create shop, and it's going to bring up this preview, and we can back out of this, but this will give you an idea of what the pricing is like, what the features are like. Now, this isn't even on the front end of their own official website over at SiteJet. So this is only popping up through the back end cPanel installations for hosting companies. So keep in mind, if you choose one of these, this is not being billed through Mid-City Digital. This would be billed through the parent company of SiteJet. I believe it's Web Pros, or it might actually show up as SiteJet proper. But this is a third-party solution, and some of it seems pretty legit. And in the future, I might actually do another demonstration diving into e-commerce with SiteJet. But you got this starter package, which it's not a bad deal, $12.49 per month. I'm sure once you go on into signing up, you might could get a deal for signing up for a full year, things like that. Probably more serious e-commerce sites would probably want to do this professional level right here. Because you have things like abandoned cart and automated marketing emails, recurring subscriptions, which would be really good for membership sites. So, check it out. And one thing I would say, I did notice this is not compatible with like third-party print-on-demand sites like Printful, for instance. So maybe they're working on integrating that. I really hope they are, because I mean, I've got a couple of Printful stores online that I'd like to experiment with using SiteJet for those, but if it's not going to integrate that way, then this would be great for a membership site or selling my own direct products that I have, my own inventory on site for. So if you're doing stuff like that, this could still be ideal, and it would still be cheaper than using Shopify or Wix or whatever. Between this third-party e-commerce option and your main hosting and domain registration at Mid-City Digital, that would still come out similar to Shopify or Wix, but probably a little bit cheaper actually. So you'd probably save a few dollars. Anyway, that's the situation with e-commerce here. Again, I might play with this in the future for another tutorial or something to go more in depth on that. So I think we've covered the gamut of all the main stuff that we needed to look at. I know some of it might seem a little confusing, particularly the thing with collections, but as you play with things like collections and as you play with different elements and you learn about the main sections and all that, it starts to become intuitive, and you'll probably have a lot of fun building your own website with it. Now, say I was done here To close this out, I could go here to the hamburger menu, go to share and copy website. Let me make sure I saved everything. Yep, saved everything. Okay, share and copy website. Here is where I could grab a code. I could make this a perpetual code if I just wanted this to be my permanent staging site where I could always build, 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 build. And it's going to give me a code right here. I'm going to hit regenerate. So it generates a new code right there. Then I could copy this. And you see right here where it says copy website? Well, we're going to go back over to our other coming soon site, and we're going to paste it in the same area on that domain. So currently we're in the subdomain area. So we've copied this. I'm going to exit out of here. Here we go. Now I'm going to go back over here. See, here we are on our main site again. Go to edit site. And here we are back at our silly little coming soon page we kind of slapped together. Let's go back over here, share and copy website. Now I'm going to paste, so Command V or Control V, and then hit start. If you copy another website into this website, its current content will be overwritten. Confirm. And give this a couple of minutes to do its thing. And give it a minute, and there it is. Boom. It might kind of freak out for a second. Just, you can back out and you can try it again until it goes through, but there it is now. So now this has populated our other domain. So we could double check that if we want to just make sure. Let's do a couple other things here. Let's do, we got some backups here. So yeah, you can see, this has been saving pretty frequently. So that's all good. Okay, so we're all nice and saved and backed up. I'm going to exit out of here. Okay, so now we can, edit the site here on our main site, or we can continue editing on our demo site. Let's click this, edit site, make sure we're seeing it. Yep, so it imported all this information. However, again, just to clarify, we haven't hit publish yet. So, if we go to midcitydemo.com right now, it's still just going to show this coming soon page. So we haven't published anything yet. So let's go back in here to edit site. And now we've managed to copy our staging site into our existing site. And now we could hit publish and go live with this. And again, you go through this process, wait for it to be published. You can sit there and twiddle your thumbs. You can sit there and watch it go, however you want to do it. But just give it a few minutes to do its thing. And the larger the website, the more content there is, the longer it might take. So be patient. Go have a cup of coffee, come back. And there we go. Awesome. Success. And now here's the really cool thing is since we set a restore point, we could hit this restore link right here and it would totally revert back to what we had previously. So that's pretty handy to be aware of. So I hope some of this makes some kind of sense, and hopefully you'll check out SiteJet. Hopefully you'll go to midcitydigital.com and sign up for one of our hosting packages. We're currently running a deal right now where you'll get 20% off if you use the promo code fall24, and we do deals like that kind of seasonally. So if you're watching this video later, beyond that little promo, we'll do another one probably for the spring, and another one for the summer, and so on. So kind of recurring promos there. But yeah, sign up and get your website started today. Everybody needs a website. It blows me away how many different people don't even have any kind of a website, yet they're all over social media constantly. And social media is way more temporary than building your own website and having a centralized place that everybody could always find you. And they could find all your different social medias off of your website, as opposed to the other way around, So build your own website, create your own brand, and try out SiteJet. It's, like I say, it's pretty impressive as far as site builders are concerned. And it's built right into the back end of our hosting system. So there you have it. Let me know if you have particular questions in the comments or whatever. I'm probably going to try to do another tutorial or two about SiteJet. I'm not sure how soon I can get to them, but I'll probably explore the e-commerce side of things. And there's some of the other templates that are in there that I've been pretty impressed with. There's one for musicians that was pretty cool. Might do something with that one just to demonstrate. But I guess that's about it for now. And stick around, sign up, subscribe, follow us on X, all that kind of good stuff. And we will see you next time. Cheers.